Alright, what's up guys? So in today's video I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do an oil change on your BMW E90 or E92, any of the variations. It's pretty simple. I'll try to do as much detail as possible. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so first off you're going to need a floor jack, two of these other small little jacks, and then you're going to need this oil catcher. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and move this down to here. Alright, so I went ahead and jacked it up from right here, the actual jacking point, to show you where you're going to need to actually jack it from is right here. So you're going to take that floor jack right there, and you're going to hit it right here. I think it's the subframe, and you're going to put it right here, and then you're going to lift it from right here, and I'll go ahead and show you guys. Also, real quick, it's probably a good idea to get one of these jack stand. So as you can see, it's like an adapter that fits perfectly and just helps keep it extra stable. Alright, so as you can see, we got the adapter right here, right over here, and it's sitting on top of the jack and it connects perfectly. So that should be good on this side. And then if you want, also you can leave the floor jack on the subframe still if you want, for that like extra protection. It's not necessary as long as you have these two jacks. So I got the adapter right here and the jack, and then obviously that. Alright, so once you got the jacks down, go ahead and get into the car. Open up the hood. Once you got the hood open, go ahead and open the oil cap. This is a little trick. Once you open this, it gives like a way for the air to release, and it makes the oil flow a little bit quicker once you're down underneath the car. And it's kind of hard to see, it's kind of far back. As you can see where I am on the car, this little opening right here, you're gonna have to undo a little bit of those tabs, take it off, and then that's where the oil drain screw is. Alright guys, so once you've opened up that little door, alright guys, so this little 17 mil is the screw that you need to take out. So if you want to go ahead and grab your 17 mil socket and just undo it, you might need a breaker bar to take it off. That would be nice, but in most cases you probably won't have to. Also, probably a good idea is before you put it underneath your car to undo this little thing. You definitely don't want to keep that on an accident. Alright, then go ahead and push it down there. Alright, so now that we got that down there, I'm going to go ahead and grab my 17 mil. Perfect. So you're going to want to get your 17 mil. Worst case, you can use a breaker bar. You probably won't have to though. It's better to use a ratchet anyway, a normal small one. Alright, so we got the oil flowing. It's looking pretty good. Definitely old. So you just want to let that run out till it's like barely dripping, and then you can put in the oil screw. Alright, so now that you can see that it's like barely dripping, you might want to just let it keep going for a tiny bit longer until it's like dripping. Alright, so here's the drain screw. So this one looks pretty decent, the gasket on it. I might end up reusing it. It's okay to reuse gaskets every once in a while. This one looks pretty good. But if you don't want to reuse it, let's say you don't want to reuse the gasket, there should always be one in your oil filter box. I actually might just use this one. It's right in there. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but here's the old one, here's the new one. I'm going to go ahead and throw this new one on here. Anyway, so now I put it on there, and I'm going to go ahead and put it back up, because this is now dripping pretty much for the most part. Yeah. So it should be good to go ahead and tighten that back up. Alright, so once you're underneath the car, so sometimes what I like to do is I like to wipe this down as much as possible. You don't really want to leave any oil down here. Sometimes I use brake cleaner if it's really bad. Then you go ahead and just plug it up. And then once it's on there pretty good, go ahead and grab your ratchet and just tighten it as much as you can. Definitely, if you are gonna do this, don't use a breaker bar when you're tightening it. That'll put too much force. You just want it to go to where it's snug and it's hard to push it. So like right about now. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off all the oil. Like I said, you can use brake cleaner to clean off the oil. Alright, yeah, so once you're done with being underneath the car, alright, once you're above the car, you're going to need this little filter thing. I can't remember what size it is. I'll link it in the description. You just set it above here, then you grab your ratchet, and then you just loosen. And before you loosen it all the way, you might want to grab some towels because it will start leaking. Alright, so now that I got this out, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull. And then here's the old filter. You're gonna need to get these gaskets off, this one and this one up here. So to do that, you grab a flathead, and then there's a certain spot, it doesn't really matter too much. Essentially you just dig under it and then pull up, and then you just try to do the same thing for this one. Alright, now I got both of them off. I got the one that goes right here off and the one that goes up here off. So I'm gonna put this small new one on first. Pry it on. There. And you grab the new one of these. And there you go. Alright, so once you get this to this step, you grab the new filter and just push it on, and it should be good. When you're putting it back on, to lubricate the sides, like the rings, so that you're not just tightening it without any lube. And then you want to get it to where it's snug, not too tight, but not too loose. Just to where, once you're tightening it, and it just kind of like, it gets like stopped. Nothing too crazy. This next step, you're gonna put the oil in, and I already took the cap off. And then I believe it's 7 quarts. I'm gonna have to double check on that. I'll get back to you. But we ended up picking Pennzoil. Make sure it's full synthetic, 5W30. And like I said, it doesn't matter too much which brand of oil. I just happened to pick Pennzoil this time. I've used Castrol before, Mobil 1, Valvoline. Some of the big brands I would pick, nothing like Quaker State or anything like that. I wouldn't pick those, but Pennzoil is a good brand. That's what we used to use where I used to work. So yeah, I've always trusted it. Also, the filter that I used, I got it from O'Reilly Auto Parts, and it's this Wix filter. If you just walk into the store and go up to the counter, you can just ask them, hey, what do I need for this car, and they'll tell you. And this is the one that they grabbed from me. So yeah, I use Pennzoil and then this Wix filter from O'Reilly. All right, so now we're gonna pour in the oil. So I checked, and it is 7 quarts that you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour 7 quarts. You can use a funnel. If you don't have a funnel, you can just pour it in sideways, and I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that. Alright, so now I got pretty much all the oil that I need in the car. The next step is to go ahead and turn on the car and let the oil run for a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now what I'm doing is letting the oil run for a little bit.